Hello, this is Lawrence Romanowski from Porsche Center Calgary, and here is another installment, video installment of some of our cars and describing various options and color and trim and so on. And this is a unique car because of what it doesn't have, and for the person that wants everything a 911 is, but doesn't want to pay for all of the admittedly expensive and numerous options. Here is an example of a car that's almost completely base. So in Canada, this car comes in at around $100,000. This car is of course a manual car. Most of the 911s now are ordered as PDK. But the manual is one of the best I've ever driven, and if you want to shift for yourself, then it's a terrific gearbox. So these seats are the sports seats. They're not the sports seats plus, and they're a little bit more of a comfort-oriented seat. And you can see they don't have the wings on the top. And these are the 8-way adjustable seats, and that is seat height and backrest angle. But the let's see here. But the fore aft movement is manual. Okay, and then we see that the car has the standard leather interior, and then we can see that the surfaces that you touch are leather, but the top of the dash, we can get that focused here, is a nice synthetic material, and the top of the door panel here, we can see is also synthetic. We notice that this piece here is synthetic. If you get the full leather interior, then this becomes the brushed aluminum, and then you can also order polished aluminum, and you can also order various options like a painted piece or brushed aluminum or carbon fiber or wood or what have you. Okay, and then there's also a difference when we look at the leather. If we look at it more closely here, and you can see that or maybe you can't see, but the grain is a little bit coarser than the fine grain leather you get with the full leather cars. But anyway, it's still nice, and you know, the car will do the extra $20 or $30 or $40 or $50,000 you spend on options isn't going to make the car more fun to drive or handle better. So it basically, I think most of it is just in the quality of the interior trim items, and also the amount of bells and whistles the car has. Externally, we can look and see that the car has the standard 19-inch wheels. That's what it comes with. We can also see that this car is has a sunroof delete. They come standard with xenons, although you can, for more money, you can have the PDLS, which is the active headlamps, which will swivel around corners and adjust their depth, etc. Quite fancy, but the xenons are still excellent. So this car has it does have the center caps, which are a couple $100, which are a nice touch. It has the stock mirrors. You can get sport design mirrors as well. And you can also elect to paint the black portion and lots of other bits and pieces on the car. But I think this is an interesting car because it's in Canada, it's $100,000. Maybe in the States it's 85 or something like that. Or maybe a bit more, but it represents a lot of car for the money. It's still 350 horsepower, still 0 to 100 and 100 kilometers an hour, and well under 5 seconds. Still 275 kilometers an hour top speed. Arguably the smaller rim with the larger sidewall tire, is going to give a little bit of a better ride in the city. It's a lot of car. It's a lot of car for the money. I mean, we've got another car behind it here, and this one's $175,000. Now this one's a cab, and visually you can see that it has the sport design front apron and it's got the ducktail on the back, and this one is a Carrera S with 400 horsepower instead of the 350 horsepower, and this one has the the wider rear end. It's got different brakes, bigger brakes with the red calipers. It has the 20-inch wheels as opposed to the 19-inch wheels. The wheels are painted satin gray as opposed to the polished aluminum. It has scripting on the doors. This car has the full PDLS lighting, and the lighting is tinted in black. We can see the different front end treatment that the car has. We can go inside, and we can see that it has got the keyless entry and drive with a little button to lock it, and the what they call a Kessie key, which you just turn. That key is always in place. You just turn it to start and stop the car. It doesn't come in or out, and then you just have the real key with the transceiver in your pocket. You can see that the dash top has the stitched leather. You can see that actually the other car had Sport Chrono too, but this one, the Sport Chrono, is in white. We can see that it has the full leather on the dash top and also on the door top. It gives you the extra bit of chrome on the sides. We can see that the car has the full 18-way adjustable sport seats plus, and you can see that it's got the wings on the top of the seat for better shoulder support, and you can see all the different adjustments for the fully electric seat, including the bolsters which go in and out on the thighs and on your lower back, as well as air bladder for the lumbar support. You can see that this car has the multi-function wheel. It's a PDK car as well. It's another $4,500. And with a PDK car, you get these rocker switches. With the multi-function wheel, you also get the controls for the phone and the rotary controls for the menu. Behind the wheel here, if it's heated, there'll be a button to heat that steering wheel. And what else we got here? Gauges in white, and maybe that's about it. Oh, as well, this one has the highest trim package, the Premium Plus package, and that gives you the heated and ventilated seats. You can see the little dials for that. This car also has the Sport exhaust, which actually is a really nice sound, and you can turn it on or off. And you can see the little exhaust tips denoting that. And as well, it has the Sport Chrono package, which, in addition to the chronograph on the dash, also gives you magneto-reorical engine mounts, which lock down the powertrain, reducing the weight movement in the rear of the car, which helps the handling on the track, and it offers you different settings for control of the throttle, control of the PDK, exhaust, suspension, etc. Okay, now this car is close to $170,000 in Canada. It's going to be a little bit less in the States, but not that much less. So the question for you is, there's a car, and that's 100, and this one is 175. So, you could have this car and have $70,000 left over to buy you a pretty nice winter car, or you could have this car here. So the choice is yours. I suppose it just depends on how many cars you want and how much money you want to tie up in cars. I'll show you one more before we go here, and this is a coupe, not the cab. And this one in Canada was about $155. and it also has a sport design package. It's got a different 20-inch wheel. These are the Carrera Classic wheels. We can see that it has the plain silver and black caps, center caps, instead of the gold ones. This one has, you can see the parking sensors again, the full PDLS lights. We can see that it has the glass sunroof. And now it could be a painted sunroof too. The other coupe had no sunroof at all. If it was a painted sunroof, this whole area would be body color, and it would be a piece of metal that slides back. And this one, of course, is glass. I don't know if you can see that, but it adds quite a bit of light to the car. This is a C2S, not a C4S, and when you get a C2S, you can add the clear taillights in the back. Let me focus that for you. We see this one has the different wheel. This is the sport design wheel, not the multifunction wheel. And this is a PDK car, and that gives you the big paddles on the back. So also this car has the standard aluminum, polished aluminum interior trim. And this particular car, all of the dials are black. In the other Cabriolet, they were white. So that is a different expression of a 911 too. Now this car would be, like I said, oh, also it has a rear wiper as well. And that's the way that that sits. Some guys don't like it because it clutters the lines. But if you're driving the car in Calgary, at least, where there's various where the weather patterns shift fairly dramatically, fairly quickly, a wiper is a nice idea. So there you go. So you know, we represent the manufacturer here, and we tend to order cars with a high optional content for the showroom, just to show people what the cars are like. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stand in anybody's way. If all they want is a base car, we're just as happy to order that as well. So anyway, I hope that was relatively informative. I guess the one other point is that Porsche takes a little bit of flack for, you know, maybe having a so expensive an option list. But it does give you the option of ordering a base car for 100, or a fully spec'd one for 150, or going totally over the top, and you can get this car with a power kit, and I mean you could make it cost $200,000 as well. When you option the car that heavily, what it becomes is the interior, at least, becomes very similar to what you get in a Bentley or an Aston Martin. Or a Ferrari, and even several steps beyond that in many cases. And so, you know, the way I look at it is that that if you want leather-covered fuse box holders and leather-covered air vents and embossing and contrast stitch, and you know, we showed a video of a car that we did like that a while ago. Well, you can have it, and you can pay for it, and even if you fully option the Porsche out, it's not only going to still run rings around cars costing twice as much, but it's still going to be a lot less money than a $300,000 Aston Martin or a Bentley or something like that. So I think it's just it's a tribute to the highly organized and very efficient factory in Zuffenhausen that allows such an intense amount of variability on the production line. If you want to make something cheap, you know, you need to make everything, you know, the same. And when you start adding the complexities of different colors and different trim materials and 200 options and so on, and you can make a car, you know, look like this, you know, with this is a rhodium silver on amber orange Cayenne with yellow gauges and a sport design wheel and Alcantara covered wheel and a whole host of other things. If you can do this all on the same production line, it's an incredible feat of production engineering. And I guess my point here is that one shouldn't be, you know, frustrated with Porsche offering so many extensive options. But you know, I take the position that it allows you to order exactly what you want and nothing that you don't want. So with that, I'll leave you. It's Lawrence Romanowski from Porsche Centre Calgary.